welcome to Spawn Point, the show for gamers by gamers. I'm Rad.
I'm Goose.
I'm Bajo.
And I am D.A.R.R.E.N.
Coming up on the show, we play with some interactive monster robot heads, you know, as you do, in GNOG.
Fiendish face puzzles.
It's so cool. Also, we're going to plunder spaceships for treasure in Flinthook. Yar, skvar. Yar, me hearty. Space treasure.
Oh, ye scurvy dogs.
Plus, D.A.R.R.E.N and I have some tips for you guys about worms.
Oh, I love gardening. I've been meaning to fix up my compost bin.
Negative, Rad. The game worms. It requires some scrupulous strategy.
Well, first things first, D.A.R.R.E.N, please give us a trivia challenge.
Affirmative, Bajo. Energize your frontal lobes, spawnlings, because it's time for D.A.R.R.E.N's challenge. Today, I'm asking you this. In Star Wars Puzzle Droids, which droid needs its memory reconstructed in the very first mission? Answer at the end of the show!
I'm pretty sure it's my favourite Star Wars droid of all time, whose, of course, name is...
Goose, don't spoil it.
Yeah, the answer is at the end of the show. Let's go to our first review. Puzzle me this, Rad. How does one approach a puzzle if one is puzzled by the puzzling and doesn't know what kind of puzzle it is?
Why, that's easy, Bajo. You poke, prod, and pull until something pops. And that's exactly what you do in GNOG.
Oh, that's also how I wake up Bajo in the morning.
It's true.
GNOG is a puzzle game full of sound, colour, and pure, unrelenting joy. There's no dialogue or tutorial text to read. You aren't told what to do, how it works, or even what your objective is. The game begins and you're simply presented with a lunchbox of sorts, and then you're left to your own devices. It's a game of discovery.
Yes, and there's lots of little worlds to discover. Instinctively, you begin by pulling levers, spinning dials, and poking buttons until you get a response. It's a very tactile experience. Everything you do gives a little bleep or bloop to let you know if you're on the right path or not.
Challenges are presented by a series of lunch boxes to work your way through. Each of them has their own theme. It might be helping a froggy get his dinner, feeding a family of birds to make them grow, doing a brain transplant, or, my personal favourite, repairing a broken spaceship and charting the solar system. Ah, space! I'm a fan of space.
I knew you'd like that one, D.A.R.R.E.N. The art style and animation is maximum adorable.
Oh, it's so adorable, it's almost too adorable.
I know, right? And my favourite moment was when you open up the lunchbox for the first time and all these little people were revealed. Oh, it's so cute.
So cute.
My favourite was definitely the boombox. It's a jamboree of audio bliss. You slowly figure out that the puzzle needs you to repair this little dude's music player, and the whole time just cool tunes play.
The use of interactive music and pleasant tones within the boombox puzzles makes this box in particular one of the most well-made puzzles in the game.
Oh, D.A.R.R.E.N, it was so funky, I almost did not want to solve it.
Oh, me too, Bajo. I just wanted to spin the dials and jam out.
But when you do finish a puzzle, the reward is more puzzles to solve, which is great, but also a joyous success screen. There's just so much reward for all of your actions in this game.
Naturally, I solved each puzzle very quickly, but most humans will find the game to be a bit over 3 hours long. Bajo, Rad, do you think that's too short for the price of the game?
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit, D.A.R.R.E.N, but it is really well made and quality over quantity, so I forgave that pretty quickly.
I agree. The value here is in the experience, not the length.
Yeah, and I found it didn't outstay its welcome, which is really important, and it's nice to be able to sit down and finish a game. And even in the most difficult puzzles, I was never frustrated. I was just having fun.
Part of that is because each puzzle is designed with clear logic, patterns, and universally understandable ideas. Everything you need to complete each box is right there in front of you. When things don't work, take a step back, analyze what's in front of you, experiment, and slowly the solution will come to you.
That's very true, Darren. My favourite puzzle was helping this little burglar steal coins from everyone in the building. And there were times where it really stumped me. But the more I explored and considered the objective, the more possible solutions began to form in my mind. And eventually, I solved it.
Oh, clever Bajo. And a big part of GNOG's charm is that it makes you feel like a little kid again, just discovering the world for the first time.
This game is also made to support the PlayStation VR headset, and it is perfect for that kind of experience as well. But I would say it's just as much fun with a controller.
We should point out that VR is generally recommended for ages 13 and over, so if you do wish to play it that way, consult a grown-up first. Final thoughts?
This is such a joyful, playful puzzler. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I love this game. I'd recommend it to anyone. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 as well.
Dark tidings, my lord!
Calm yourself, brave knight. What troubles you?
Well, the peasants are in a panic. They speak of a hideous creature assailing the castle!
Whoa!
A ginormous, monstrous, burrowing worm!
Well, the rumbling has stopped. I'm sure the worm was just passing through. Say, you know what this reminds me of?
Worms? The game?
Indeed, sir.
Oh, it's still okay.
In Worms, your objective is to eliminate all the enemy worms. But you don't need to wear a worm's health down to 0 to take it out of the game. Simply knocking a worm into the water will destroy it instantly.
Just let go and fall like a happy little waterfall.
So, always be on the lookout for opportunities to send an enemy worm flying into the briny deep.
Indeed, and likewise, there are various environmental hazards that can magnify the effect of your weapons. Hitting a worm with a machine gun doesn't just damage it, it will also push it away from you. And that little push might be all it takes to nudge a worm onto a landmine, causing even more damage.
By the same token, you need to keep an eye on the placement of your own worms. A worm on a thin bridge over a perilous drop is one blast away from destruction. A worm near a landmine or an exploding oil barrel is asking for trouble.
Yes, and you should always be aware of where you move your worm after using a weapon. Some weapons, like the stick of dynamite, have blast radii that will damage your worm as well if you don't get out of the way before it goes off.
While your worms are quite slow by themselves, they can move speedily around the map with the deft use of items like the ninja rope and the jetpack. Worms WMD adds vehicles to the classic Worms gameplay formula, so learn to make the most of them, too.
We don't have anything but happiness here.
Above all, Worms is a game of light-hearted japery and whimsy, and if there is more than one way to eliminate an enemy worm, the best way is often the funniest.
Affirmative. A shame that giant worm went away, though. I wonder what it looked like.
Whoa! Oh! Well, it looks, Your Majesty, like thine wish has been granted. Behold, the giant worm!
I say, would you chaps be up for a round or two of Worms WMD?
Oh, he's quite polite. What about it, Darren?
Oh, all right. But you're not using any of the good controllers.
Fair enough.
All right, Ryan, time to hit us up with some questions.
Oh, just try and stop me, Badger. And first up, we have this one from Grace, who is in Yallourn, North Victoria. What are you doing?
You said try and stop you.
I didn't mean like that. It's just a saying.
Well, say what you mean.
Give me my laptop back.
Don't be confusing.
Give me my laptop
Just
back.
try and stop me from giving it back to you. I get it.
Dear Good Game SP, I have a question to ask you and a noob accusation. The question is, can you get Stardew Valley for a laptop? And the noob accusation is against Darren the robot. In 2016, he said that you get 3 types of cats in Minecraft, but you don't! If he does not drink from the noob cup, I will come and destroy you with my mutant cats!
Oh, well, Grace will get Darren to answer that noob accusation in a minute. But firstly, yes, you can get Stardew Valley on laptops. It's available on Windows, Mac, and Linux too, so just about any kind of laptop should be able to play it.
Providing, of course, that your laptop meets the minimum hardware requirements, which are quite low for Stardew Valley. To be honest, if your laptop can't run it, then it might be time for a cheeky upgrade.
Indeed. All right, now let's get Darren on the line and see what he has to say for himself, right? When you're honest.
It's ringing.
Hello, Darren speaking.
Hi, Darren. So, Grace here says that you should drink from the noob cup because you're a noob, because you said there were 3 types of cats in Minecraft last year, but she says there isn't. So you're a noob.
Well, I'd have to disagree. I've double-checked the game's databases and there are clearly 3 types of cat. Ginger tabby, Siamese, and black and white tuxedo. I'm not sure why Grace thinks there aren't.
Hang on a sec, Darren. What about ocelots? An ocelot is a type of cat, is it not?
Well, it is. However, the question I posed last year was, what are the 3 breeds of cat that can spawn when you tame an ocelot? Which would clearly exclude the ocelot.
That sounds an ocelot like a big bag of excuses to me, Darren.
Well, the game itself has 3 types of cat in the code. Using commands and telling the game to spawn cat type 0 spawns an ocelot, so technically not a domesticated cat, and not what I was referring to in my question. Type 1 spawns a black and white tuxedo cat. Type 2 spawns the ginger tabby cat, and Type 3 spawns a Siamese cat.
But what happens when you type in number 4?
Entering Type 4 or higher simply spawns the default ocelot, indicating there are no more than 3 types in the game. Of course, that's just the PC version, but from what I'm aware of, the same cat types are available in Pocket and console versions too.
Well, I suppose having 3 types of cat literally in the code, I guess you're off the hook with that one, Darren.
Ah, no surprise there. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Next time.
Yeah, we'll get you next time. All right, well, I guess we should move on now to this one from Pug King, who is in Pugland.
Hi, Gigi, SP. I have 4 questions for you. 1. Do you know anything about the release date of the Xbox Scorpio? 2. Do you know what the rating and release date of Sea of Thieves? 3. Could you give any suggestions of pirate games for Xbox One? 4. Will the Xbox Scorpio have its own games or still use Xbox One games? If you do not answer, I will send my pug army to attack. Thanks. Well, Pug King. Firstly, Microsoft has said that the Scorpio is due to come out holiday 2017, but we don't know exactly when that would be. We can guess though.
Oh, we can indeed. Holiday usually refers to around Christmas time, you know, the holiday season. But I'd say it's most likely going to come out in November. The original Xbox One came out here on November 22nd, so if I had to guess an exact date, I'd say they might go with that one just to make it a sort of nice anniversary thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. Of course, that's a big fat guess. It could come out a bit earlier or a bit later, or not at all. No, it's probably going to come out. But I'd be surprised if it came out much later than that. They usually like to get their consoles out in time for Christmas shopping. But no doubt we'll be getting an exact release date announcement at this year's Electronic Entertainment Expo, or E3 as we like to call it.
Yes, I'm very excited to be going to E3.
Oh, you're gonna have so much fun. Oh.
As for Sea of Thieves, well, it hasn't been rated or given a release date, so we don't know yet. If we're lucky, it might just scrape in at PG, but given some of its pirate themes, we think that it could likely be pushed into mature or higher.
As far as I know, they haven't even announced a vague release window for the game, so we'll just have to wait and see then see what it is.
But we can suggest a few decent pirate games that you can play right now. Most of the pirate games on Xbox One are rated M or higher, but there are a few good backwards compatible 360 games that you could play. I'd personally suggest the Secret of Monkey Island games as excellent piratey adventures. Yarr!
So good, me hearties. Or if you're a fan of Lego games, then there's Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, which I enjoyed quite a lot back when I reviewed it.
Oh, great one, matey. And no, the Scorpio will not have its own exclusive games. It's just a more powerful Xbox One, so it'll simply run Xbox One games with better graphics. But let's move on now to this one from Spirit Storm, who is in the King of Chewing Gum Under Your Table, New South Wales.
In the King?
Well, I mean, that's what it says here. Hi! Thanks for answering. I got one question for you. How do I get Forza Horizon 3 on Windows 10 for free? There was one episode where you said I could. Thanks. Ah! If you don't answer, I will send all my chewing gum minions to eat you up. Whee!
Wait, so is he a king or is he in the king?
Well, it said his location is the king, so he's either in or on the king.
Right, well now I don't know. What do we bow?
I don't know, you tell me. I don't know the rules of the bowing.
Okay, well, Spirit Swarm, I bow to the king you are in, almighty king. But not to you. But as for your question, the only way to get Forza Horizon 3 completely free on Windows 10 would be if someone gave you a copy as a present.
Oh, what a very nice present that would be. But I think what might have confused you is the fact that the game is part of what they call the Play Anywhere initiative. Basically, that means if you buy a digital online version of Play Anywhere game, then you get both the Xbox One version and the PC version of it, so you can play it anywhere.
Indeed. Yeah, so it's not free technically, but if you bought Forza Horizon 3 online on your Xbox One, then you'd get access to the PC version for no additional cost.
Well, let's move on now, and we've got another video question this week. It comes to us from Lord Gamer in Gaming City, Western Australia. That sounds like a great place to live.
It does, yeah.
City of Gaming.
Western Australia. Oh, City of Gaming. My lord.
I have one question to ask you. In LEGO Styles The Force Awakens, how do you change customs? Because all my customs are stuck as Rey, and all she does is punch. And I've looked everywhere and I can't find how to change them. Thanks for answering my question. Bye.
Well, Lord Gamer,
My lord.
we can definitely help you out with that. To change your customs, you just have to go to the Resistance base on Dakar. Then just head towards the bunker on the map.
Now, go inside, head to the back of the room, and jump into one of the operating tables. From here, you can change up everything about your custom character, from their looks to their weapons.
Of course, you will need to actually unlock the various custom pieces before you can use them.
And you can only use custom characters in story missions after you've beaten the mission at least once.
Well, hopefully that helps you out, Lord Gamer, and thanks for sending in your video. But on that note, we are out of time for this week, so if you have a question or video that you want to send us, you can go here and send it in.
Have you ever been to Western Australia?
No, but I hear it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's really flat.
To the west.
Yeah, it's to the west, and then you go further west, and that's where you find French Perth.
Flinthook is an action platformer where you play as a bounty hunting space pirate. Shiver me timbers!
Arr, walk the space plank! You use your trusty dusty handy-dandy grappling hook to swing around swashbuckling decks and pop enemy shielding bubbles. Arr, it's a pirate's life for me!
You can also slow down time for a short while using your belt. You'll need this to get through certain barriers, and it's very handy for helping to dodge the occasional bullet.
You've got your pirate catchphrase, Darren.
Oh, I don't engage in piracy.
Oh, that's probably smart. Otherwise, you'll end up in Davy Jones's locker. Arr! You'll need all your tools and quick hands to chase down your bounty.
Indeed. You start your run by bursting onto a ship riding your anchor, then you need to go room to room fighting enemies, dodging danger, and picking up sweet, sweet loot.
Oh, I do love a bit of loot. Dazzling doubloons and gorgeous gold. You can use this gold to buy items like health and perks when you find shop rooms. But be aware that these perks only last until you die, unlike the perks you can choose when you begin your run. Perks give you things like extra health, XP, and pickups.
Eventually, after you fight through enough rooms on the ship, you'll reach an end room with a giant golden chest that contains a ghost gem. Feed enough to your little compass goo guy, and he'll help you find your quarry.
You'll need 3 gems for the first bounty, but confession, I never got that far because I never managed to finish 2 ships in a row. After you collect the first ghost gem, you're whisked away to do it all over again on the next ship, and any perks you've purchased or health you've lost carries over. But I never survived long on the second ship.
I definitely think the game needed to be more balanced with healing opportunities. In some rooms, you'll need to defeat several waves of enemies before a chest drops, from which you'll get some gold and maybe 20 health points. It's just not enough, especially when you can hurt yourself and everything.
Absolutely. It's so easy to mess up a really good run on just one tricky room, and that's so disheartening.
You can, however, stack the odds in your favour a little bit. Each ship has a different category which will change its layout and the types of rooms it contains. It can be wise to pick something like Labyrinth first, so you have more rooms to collect gold in before picking one with numerous shops.
Ooh, hot tip, Darren. After you level up a bit, you'll also want to get yourself some more permanent perk slots. And the place to do that is the black market.
The black market, the perfect place for a scurvy sea dog to make a purchase. Except I didn't find these perks actually affected gameplay that much. I tried using a perk where bombs heal you, along with a perk where you're given bombs after defeating a number of enemies. But I just wasn't given enough bombs to really impact how the game played out.
Yeah, and the perk that gives you an apple which gives you 10 HP when you get onto a new ship is pretty pointless because you so rarely get onto a new ship because the game is so hard. It's just not enough. The one ability that's invaluable, though, is the ability to lock your feet and stand still while aiming your weapon. Before that, your movement and aiming are tied together.
Oh man, that made me so mad. I was all ready to put this game in the bin, and then I finally unlocked that ability and I felt like I could really play the game. I don't know why you don't start with it.
The game does feel like it's meant to be played over and over again. The procedurally generated rooms add a good sense of adventure as you look to see what's behind the next door.
Good point, Darren. And you know, when I stopped worrying about progressing and just focused on exploring and fighting, that's where I had the most fun with this game. It's fast-paced, and when you get your movement right, it feels really tight. Flying about with the grappling hook was particularly satisfying.
Oh, totally. But it did bug me when I felt like I was locked out of new parts of the game. I want to see new things.
Yeah, it's a valid criticism, Rad, but I didn't mind it so much. This feels more like, to me, a warm-up game. Something you play on a Saturday morning on the couch before you play the rest of the games for the day. I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5 rubber chickens.
It is super charming and the gameplay is really tight. I just want that progression to be a little bit faster. I'm giving it 3 out of 5 rubber chickens.
Well, we're almost at the end of another show, but you know what that means? Darren, it's time to answer your challenge.
Affirmative! At the start of the show, I asked you this. In Star Wars Puzzle Droids, which droid needs its memory reconstructed in the very first mission? And the answer is... BB-8!
Ah, BB-8's my favourite droid. You know, I heard the BB stands for bowling ball because he kind of looks like one.
He does, doesn't he? He's like the cutest droid ever. Oh, but I mean, he's a droid. You're a robot, Darren. You're the cutest robot ever.
Don't let it go to your head. Next week on the show, we aim for nothing but net in NBA playgrounds.
Whoosh. Missed.
Alley-oop. Don't forget, you can catch new videos from us Monday through Friday on the ABC Me app and on iView.
On Monday's episode of Spawn Point Scoop, I'm doing a Let's Play of Tumbleseed and bringing you all the latest in gaming news.
Well, until next time, Bajo out.
Right out.
Goose out.
Darren out.
Guys, I have to show you. Someone sent me this really cool shirt.
What? Oh, it's your dog boat meal.
Awesome. Oh, we should get one for our cats.
Yes.
Pet crew.
And I should get a t-shirt with the 3 of you on it.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Darren, do you think of us as your pets?
Affirmative. Time for Din Dim.
Din-dins. Din-dins. Din-dins.
I got your favourite treats.